Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It is Tuesday night, and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. It is Tuesday night. Oh, there. Sorry, I got a little flustered there for a second. So there is a debate tonight, like pretty big deal. Some people wanted to watch that. Hey, I'm going to continue streaming. If you guys need to dip out to go and watch that debate, I am not going to be offended. Politics being what they are, not my thing, but if those are your thing, I am not going to be offended if you go and catch that. I might watch it tomorrow. I have no idea. But anyway, just wanted to let you know that I will not be offended if you have to dip out around 9 o'clock Eastern for that. But I'm going to draw a picture anyway. So you may be wondering what we're working on tonight. I thought, like in this style that I've been working on lately with the black and white charcoal, I thought a panda bear might actually look really cool. And I've never done a panda bear, and they're so adorably cute. I think that's what I'm going to do tonight. Got kid in the room tonight. She says, I guess that's okay. It's not a trash panda. No, it is not a trash panda this time. Although I might actually do a raccoon trash panda in this style at some point. I'm not doing that tonight. So anyway, I'm just gonna stop rambling because I've already messed it up so bad and just jump right in. So, um, you guys know the drill. We just draw. We have a good time. We're like really chill and everything, and we just chat while I draw pictures. So if that's cool with you. Hopefully you guys will enjoy tonight's drawing. Um, Again, kids in the room. I always like talking to kids, so at least I've got somebody to talk to. That's cool. If anybody else shows up, I will be here for you. So, for those of you who have been on this channel in the past, you kind of know the drill. I always kind of start with like a really soft, kind of blurred out base kind of form with this blending stump. I use that with a stick of charcoal, and I kind of come in and I just kind of start adding some form to where I think the animal or whatever it is I'm drawing is going to be. So in this case, I'm drawing a panda bear. I kind of already figured I want this big kind of circular head here. I want kind of like circular ears. I might want to put in like a little piece of like a sprig of bamboo, but I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that. I have zero experience in drawing bamboo, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, kid loves the trash pandas. She's a huge fan of raccoons. If anybody gets a chance and you haven't seen it, somewhere buried in my community tab is a picture of a raccoon themed room that she's done, and she has like two of my drawings in there, so that's kind of cool. Makes me feel special. It's always nice when my pictures actually end up getting displayed. That's what I kind of like about doing people's pet portraits for them. Yeah, Geppetto's being Banner White tonight. I've got a cool outfit for Geppetto, but I haven't put it on him. My dad got me like a little art thing for him. So you can expect that coming up soon. I didn't want to do it tonight because I didn't have time to put all the pieces on him. I kind of got a preview of what he might look like, and I'm pretty happy with it. So you can expect that soon. He's got like his own little um, his own little easel and his own little paintbrush and his own little palette and everything. It looks really cute. So just putting in some really light kind of like fur around the face because like all of this is going to be cast in shadow. He's kind of like backlit a little bit, which is kind of cool. I've never seen a panda in real life. Never. Not even at the zoo or anything like that that I can recall. Um, I think I think I should have seen one at the zoo because like I think they have one at the zoo that I go to, but I've never seen one in real life. I think they're so cute. They're so adorable. It may be because they're so rare that I haven't seen one. Maybe I only think it's at the zoo that I go to, and it's not really. They're endangered, I think. So maybe they're not at every zoo, but it would be kind of cool to see one. They're adorable. Yeah, maybe it's not at the zoo because they're endangered. So if you see a panda, don't kill it because they're Jerry's in the house. Cool. Hey, Vanna, pick me a letter. Yeah. The letter tonight is cute, adorable. That's not a letter. A for adorable. There we go. Yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out. I know that like whenever there's things like I don't know, the debate, they're kind of things that everybody watches. Like I kind of watch them even though I'm not into politics. Uh, in this case, I'm not really invested in who's going to win the debate. They're kind of silly anyway. They declare like a winner for these things, even though neither of them said anything of substance. And then whenever I just have like a bad taste for politics in general. Like I just don't buy any of it. I feel like it's just like this big sideshow. I would like to believe in politics. I would love to live in the days portrayed by Hollywood where there's like noble leaders who go off and fight for causes and things like that. I just don't see it. I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about it, and I don't want to like disparage anybody else's views. Like other people might be really passionate about politics. It just doesn't sit well with me because like I just feel like they're all liars. All they do is just lie. And I probably would have a preference over which one I think lies more. But that's not really the point. My point is that both of them lie. Like all politicians lie. So I'm just not into it. I have no faith in it. I do like civics in general though. I do feel like everybody has like civic responsibilities. Like I believe that everybody should vote, even that if you're not into politics, you should inform yourself and make a vote. Um, Kid says the debate will be on in my house, but I have my Jeremy earbuds in. Nice, nice. Well, I am running for president next year, so I'm, no, I'm just kidding. I would. Could you imagine being president? I've been watching. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this. Beep on HBO. I guess it's Max now. Louise Dreyfus. That's hilarious. That's a funny show. So like politics in comedy is funny. I enjoy that. Um, she plays she plays a vice president who I don't I don't think she ever got voted into being president. Maybe she did at some point. I'm only on like season 4 or something. But anyway, she plays a vice president. It's one of those witty banter kind of shows where like everybody talks super fast and everybody's just hilarious. I think that's a good show. I think people can enjoy it regardless of what their politics are as well. Like that's the best kind of humor. But yeah, it's like it's unfortunate we have an election year this year. But it is what it is. Maybe one day it'll be different. Maybe maybe someday there'll be some sanity in the political. And this is the United States, by the way. Like I'm from Kentucky, so that's what I'm talking about. I realize there's people who pop in here that are from other countries that have nothing to do with you guys have your own problems. Like um Just Dave usually pops in the next day and watches my streams and stuff. So Just Dave, hey man, you guys have your own problems over there in the UK. I've seen what you guys put up as politics sometimes, and I don't know, like there's definitely a debate of who's worse, American politics or British politics. But also like I don't know, you see these clips sometimes of like foreign countries where their parliaments and stuff just like it's just a wrestling match. Like every now and then they get so mad at each other. To my knowledge, nobody's like punched anybody in the United States House of Congress or anything like that, or the Senate. Um, Whereas in foreign countries, sometimes it comes to blows. So maybe American politics isn't that bad yet. I know there's probably some people who want to, um, you know, do some fisticuffs. Is that a term? Fisticuffs? Do people say that? I feel like that's the term. Civilized fighting is fisticuffs. I don't know, but yeah, I'll be voting this year, just because I do think it's a civic responsibility. But I'm also like into local politics more because I think that matters more like there's more integrity there. Like you actually have like more of a say unless you go to like Washington or something, like knock on a senator's door, or I don't even know if you're allowed to do that. Can you just show up at some senator's office or something? But um, in local politics, you can usually do that. Like a lot of local politicians have like open door policies where they may not want to see you, but they allow you to just pop in and say hi and stuff. Um, some of the people around here, I don't I don't know like in terms of like we're best buds and we hang out or anything like that, but I know of some of the politicians around here because they're local business owners, and you see them in their establishments. Like I think this year the guy who owns the pub I go to all the time, I think he's running for like local, not local, but state Congress or something like that. I don't know. But he's pretty cool. I like him. I don't know if I agree with his politics, but I just like him. I think he's cool. He's a guy who supplies me my Guinness, so I mean, how bad can he be? And he's good at it too. Yeah, like he knows how to. I guess the term is pull a Guinness. Um, him and his wife started the pub that I go to after they took a trip to Ireland. So they went there on vacation and they just fell in love with all of the local establishments there. And they thought it would be kind of cool to bring that sort of authentic Irish pub to the United States. And I felt like they nailed it. Except that like it is Kentucky, so you do have like some sports and stuff in there. It's like partially a sports bar, which isn't my thing. I don't go to bars to watch sports just because it's like always loud, people yelling and all that stuff. I mean, I can take a little bit of noise. I'm not like an old man where I'm like get off my lawn. Um, but I'm not into like the whole yelling at the TV sports kind of thing. Now they also have like music, so I do enjoy that kind of noise. Like I'll go and listen to some loud music or something like that because uh, it's usually it's usually the kind of music that I enjoy, like unplugged and acoustic kind of music. Um, Especially when they have the Irish band in there. I love the Irish band from around here. I forget the name of them, so I can't plug them. But I love them. They always show up at like St. Patrick's Day. Like they make their rounds around St. Patrick's Day. So like they show up at the pub on St. Patrick's Day, but they also do like other showings and stuff. We have um we have some river dance girls too, Irish dancers that do the whole like I don't know like kind of like peg dancing. I don't know the name of it. Well, I think it is river dance, but um, like they're really good at that too. So they always make their rounds around St. Patrick's Day as well. I don't know why I'm talking about St. Patrick's Day, but I don't know. You guys know me, like we get talking about something, I just kind of ramble on, like stream of consciousness. But that is not how this guy's gonna look. It looks like he's got these beady eyes right now, but no, that like, if I was drawing a raccoon, then that's what he would look like. But that's not what I'm drawing. I'm just kind of like getting some of the features into the face here. So you guys know how this goes. Like it always starts off, you barely know what's happening, and it ends up coming together towards the end. Like through here, obviously his mask is going to be a lot darker. Um, he's got a little bit of a mustache here. But hey, Willie, how's it going? Yeah, it's looking like a trash panda, but it'll look more like a actual panda before too long. But that's okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll just draw like a trash panda. Yeah, it's a panda. Or hopefully it will be when it's all said and done. Right now, it kind of looks like a raccoon. It does, like in the face. It needs to be more rounder. Once he starts, like, I'm gonna have some bamboo here, and he's got these like little paws and stuff that are gonna be doing paw things. Uh, you guys ever hear that rap song that keeps repeating "Panda, Panda, Panda"? Um, I hate that song. I don't know that maybe. I might have heard it and didn't like realize they were saying panda. Like sometimes I don't get the lyrics. Like maybe I've heard that song. I don't know. I do listen to some rap every now and then. So if I had like a genre that I listen to the most, it's probably like indie rock. But I do enjoy a lot of different types of music. So I do listen to rap every now and then. Like sometimes I get in the mood where I just want to listen to a particular kind of music. So like sometimes I'll put hip hop on just because I want to listen to that style of music. Kid said don't listen to rap. Are you telling us not to listen to rap, or are you saying that you don't listen to rap? The way you worded it there, it sounds like a warning, like do not listen to rap. I think the kids call it hip hop now anyway. I don't know. But yeah, I like to listen to like indie music. I don't know, like it's kind of weird. I used to follow when I was younger, and I used to follow music. Oh, she says I don't listen to rap. That's funny. Um, when I was younger, like I'm from the like grunge era, um, like almost like post grunge and stuff. Like I really like Kurt Cobain and stuff, but even that's like I was on the younger side um, when all that kind of music came out. But I really liked it, and I'll still listen to it now. I'll listen to '90s music anytime just to relax and light my candles and just chill out and listen to some rock music. But mostly I like indie rock. And the thing is, what's kind of weird is I used to follow all the bands back in the day, like back in I guess the time period that I would call my day. Back in my day, I used to follow all the different bands. Now I don't, and it's kind of hard to, in my opinion, because like the way you consume music is different. Back in the day, um, you like the beats. Yeah, see that's some like you can listen to like hip hop and stuff and really just kind of like get into the like the trance of it almost. I like that. I like that kind of stuff. Like, gangster rap and stuff where, it's like, hey, I'm a badass and I'm badder than you and stuff. I don't get into like those kind of lyrics and stuff you know, like disrespectful lyrics and stuff. I'm not into that, but the beats, yeah, for real. Totally into that. But anyway, yeah, so I think we consume music different nowadays, so it's kind of hard to follow who the actual singers are, because you used to buy albums, so you were like invested in knowing who they are, so that you when you go to the music store, you can actually buy like a CD um, or tape way back in the day. You can actually buy that album because you were buying it for the artist. But nowadays, when we consume music, we don't consume it like an entire album. We consume tracks, right? So like I'll load up my Spotify playlist with a bunch of songs that I like, but it's not like I'm memorizing who they are when I do it. It's like, oh, I like that song, I'll add it to the playlist. And that's the way we consume music now. It's like I'll click to add it to the playlist. I I don't buy music anymore. I just kind of like build these playlists and listen to that. So I never need to know who they are. It's so weird. It's such a weird thing that I'm a fan of people that I have no clue who they are. I couldn't quote you their names or like there's some that kind of like you like and you start listening to them often enough that you do pick up names and stuff. I'm just terrible with names anyway. But my guilty pleasure is definitely like Taylor Swift. I will listen to Taylor Swift no matter what. Like I don't care what genre she is. I don't care what kind of music she's doing now. Like yeah, because there's a lot of variety. Like she's like the Madonna of now. Like back in the day, Madonna was like genre bending. But yeah, Taylor Swift's my guilty pleasure. I'll listen to anything from her. Hey MJ, how's it going? Tom McDonald. You ever heard Tom? I don't know who you guys are talking about. All right, so now he's kind of looking like a panda, I think. He doesn't look as much like a trash panda, like a raccoon. I mean, you could still pass him off as a raccoon, but I am going to I'm going to kind of like shape in his head here a little bit, and then we'll have some more definition, I think. But yeah, I mean, I love all kinds of music, and I'll listen to all kinds of music. And you know, one of the cool things I like about Spotify, and you know, there's some others. I'll tell you. So I'll tell you who I can listen to anytime, and I feel like anybody can get into this. And it's not like I discovered this. I mean, they're pretty famous. Lo-Fi Girl. If you look her up here on YouTube, they have some music that is just kind of like down tempo music that you can just listen to when you're studying. It's just repetitive stuff. It sounds super cool. Um, I can just put that on, and it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I could be coding, I could be writing code, I could be drawing, I could be, um, you know, reading. Um, that kind of music I can listen to anytime. And I feel like that's a winner for anybody. Like I get that some people just don't care for that kind of music, but it's really hard not to like it. It's down tempo. It's like um, I don't know if this is the right term, like acid jazz. Like it's just really chill, right? Chill hop, lo-fi girl. Look that up. That's music I can listen to at any time. Um, when I'm feeling nostalgic, it's definitely like 90s music. I'll listen to that anytime. Okay, Larry loves. CCR. So I know what CCR is because my dad loved that. That is my dad's favorite band. Um, Clarence Clearwater. Ah, CCR. What does that stand for? Tell me what CCR stands for. Yeah, Clearwater Revival. That's it. My dad loves that. That is his favorite. That's his favorite band. If I put that on, he is in a good mood. Like I will put that on just for him. I love 70s music, 70s rock music. Well, I just like 70s music in general, like Motown 70s or is that 80s? No, that's 70s. Yeah. I like Motown. It's just like music. Um, Yeah, so it really depends on the mood. And what oh, that's what I was trying to get to. What I love about like some of the, so there's a lot of things I hate about technology when it comes to music. I do think that it's kind of made things a little weird where you're not really following a person or like a band or something like that. Like it's tough to find superstars nowadays. Um, so I don't like technology from that standpoint, but I do like it for other reasons. Like I do like that you can decide it like a mood you want, right? So like if you want to be upbeat and like really energetic, like say you're doing something where you just have to be like really hyper focused and like say you're working out at like the gym or something, you can listen to music just for that, right? So you can like choose that as like a playlist. You didn't have that before. Like I said, you would buy albums, right? So you would listen to like one person. If you made a mixtape, maybe you could do that. Basically, the internet is mixtapes now. Like it's just a bunch of mixtapes, you know. Um, and you have a bunch of mixtapes for different genres and things like that. And I kind of like it. I do like that aspect of it. It's more convenient. It's nice and stuff. But I'll tell you what I hate about it. What I used to like is, you know, this is gonna sound bad, but I like the conformity of music that you had when everything was on the radio, right? Like I know nobody likes conformity. Everybody likes things to be like, um, you know, unique and all that stuff. But I like that you could listen to the radio, and you pick, you know, you pick what kind of radio station you like. Maybe you like rock, maybe you like country, maybe you like hip hop. But you listen to that, and then everybody's on the same page. So, like, if you wanted to talk to your friends about it, you could say, "Yeah, man, I was listening to such and such radio station, and they had such and such artists, and everybody knows who you're talking about." That was nice. Now it's like everybody's like in their own little silos. Like everybody has their own playlist, and nobody knows. Like you can say your favorite band, and nobody's gonna know what the hell you're talking about. It's like they have their own little playlist and it has completely different people on it. So there's not that common thing. And I find that with um, I don't know how we got on this subject, but it's a fascinating subject. I love this subject. I It's the same way with television. Um, it's kind of frustrating because like this has only happened in the last couple of decades. You used to have like the true cooler talk, right? Where you would watch something. HBO was really good for this, like Sopranos days, 6 Feet Under days, things like that, where there was must see TV on HBO. So you would go and watch HBO Sunday night because that's when it was always on, like Sopranos or something like that. And then Monday morning you would go into work, and maybe it wasn't around a water cooler, but everybody was on the same page. Hey, did you watch Sopranos last night? The last time I remember this happening was with Game of Thrones, the good years. Like Game of Thrones really went off the rails at the end. Um, but when it was good, it was the kind of same kind of thing. It's like everybody watched the same thing at the same time. There wasn't like any kind of like binging or anything like that. It's like everybody watched Game of Thrones on Sunday night, so they could talk about it the next day, like in the morning meetings and stuff. Like we always had a morning meeting where I worked, and you would show up, and everybody's on the same page because everybody stayed up late and watched it, and everybody's like bug eyed and like bloodshot eyes and all that stuff, and they're like, yeah, I stayed up watching Game of Thrones last night, um, and they're like, cool, what'd you think? And everybody was on the same page, you know. I like that. You don't have that much anymore, and it's getting worse. You know, it'll probably be something that's like a relic of the past at some point. Um, but it definitely happened to music first. I know that because like I watched it happen, and I'm like, man, this is frustrating because like like there are some things that you use to like define your identity, your persona, things like that, the things that you're into. And for me, music was a big deal. I was really into music back in the day, especially like grunge music, things like that. And I kind of prided myself on having a good taste in music and knowing who everybody was and all that stuff. And like when somebody came in who didn't know you know what music to listen to, I could recommend people to them. I could be like, or I could make fun of them, like, oh, you don't know such and such, poser. I prided myself on that kind of stuff, but I don't know how people do that anymore. Like, how can you develop? Well, I guess okay. So like, if you're really, really like into music, and you do have a taste for music, you could develop music to where you're like an influencer or something like that, and you're like listening to like everything so that you can recommend to other people what to listen to. But even that, I think, is that's just you creating a playlist. Basically, everybody's got a playlist nowadays, and everybody's on their like own little playlist. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. It's just how things change over time. But I did like listening to the radio better because like, and it's been a long time since it's been like that. Nobody listens to the radio anymore. I guess it kind of maybe, but even the radio is just a big playlist. Willie says, I like the radio too, recording the songs and writing the lyrics down. Yeah, for real. Exactly. Kid says, Eagles, Aerosmith, Van Halen. I love all those bands. So I try to stay young, right? I'm of a certain age now, but I like to hang out with younger people, like my nieces and nephews and stuff. I like to stay relevant to them. And when you work in the tech industry like I do, like I'm a software developer, most of the people around me are younger. Um, it was funny, like in my last job, the my boss was 8 years younger than me, so I was like, oh man, I felt really old. But I try to stay young. I try to stay kind of current with especially when it comes to music and pop culture and stuff like that. I try to stay uh, like sound really. I try to stay hip. I sound like a poser, but anyway, whatever. I do. I try to stay informed and stuff and up to speed on pop culture. That said, I love the classics. I really do. I love 70s music. I love that you can find a PlayStation on Spotify where you can just listen to 70s music and kind of like feel that vibe. for the day or something like that, or even further back. If you want to listen to like 50s music, like the real oldies and stuff like that, you know, you can listen to like Elvis or you know, like old country music, like George Strait and Loretta Lynn and things like that. I mean, I can listen to that like and just zone out for like a day. Like I can spend my entire day just feeling that vibe. And I love that aspect of technology that you can do that nowadays. You can just go on Spotify and just say, look, I want to feel like I'm in the 70s for a little while. And you got the soundtrack to go with it. So acoustic is the best. I agree with that. I agree with that no matter what the genre is. Um, uh, let's see. Oh, MJ says Panda is looking cute. Thanks. You can start to see that it is a panda now, which is good because it was kind of looking like a raccoon there for a bit. Anyway, I'm just doing these like really light things. You guys know how it goes, but I'm doing these really light things just to kind of figure out where everything is. I want to kind of keep it light because like, especially up here, I think I'm going to add some bamboo leaves. So I want to kind of keep it a little bit light so I can kind of draw over what I'm doing here. But I do kind of want to know where the ear is, and I think this is it through here. Yeah. And some parts of this ear will probably become darker, and I'll get all that added in. But anyway, we're just adding like a little bit of shade. Obviously, down through here, this is going to be the big panda's coat. He looks adorable though, so like you can't see it yet, but he's got his paw up like this, and then the other paw's kind of holding like a twig. Like down here, he's holding like a little branch. Um, he's a he's an adorable panda. So I think trash pandas are cute too, like raccoons. But these guys, I don't know too much about pandas, so I don't want to like say they're dumb, but they kind of feel like just big dumb teddy bears, you know? Like they might be the smartest creatures in the world. I don't know. Can't tell. They're on the extinct list, but or like the endangered list. Maybe I shouldn't make jokes about that, but how smart can you be if you're on the endangered list? I'm just joking. I'm just joking, guys. Don't beat me up. No, pandas are adorable. Um, and I like the movie Kung Fu Panda. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Jack Black. That's good stuff. It was a debate on drawing a panda tonight or drawing Beetlejuice or drawing one of the characters from Beetlejuice. I really love that movie, by the way, guys. I went and saw it, Beetlejuice, and it's got some issues. It's got some like some pacing issues, I guess, and like I feel like they added more to it than really needs to be and stuff. But honestly, it was so good. I enjoyed it so much that I really have nothing to complain about. Like even though it had its faults, I don't feel like complaining about its faults because it was so good. I enjoyed it. I'm glad they made it. Um, all the people were good to see from it, like Winona Ryder. I always forget the redheaded lady's name, but she's been in like everything. Um, the lady who was Kevin McAllister's mom in Home Alone. Whatever her name is, she's like, I mean, she's a national treasure. She's really good. Um, and I'm sorry I don't know her name, but she's she was good in this. Oh, speaking of actors, James Earl Jones passed away. That sucks. I was thinking about that like heavily because like that guy has been the narrator of my entire childhood. He has that voice where it's like I don't know, just like the voice of Darth Vader. It's crazy that he passed away, but he was 80 something, so lived a pretty good life. Pandas are actually super smart on the same level with chimps. Really? Huh. Well, not this guy. This guy's just dumb and adorable. No, I believe you. Like, they make tools, don't they? Like, they have to be a little bit smart. They they use tools to eat their slugs or whatever it is that they eat, like insects. I'm gonna say that is interesting. You guys always have the fun facts to back up like what I'm drawing. I like that. Yeah, James Earl Jones, man, that's just sad. I mean, that guy had such a distinctive voice. The voice of Mufasa, the voice of Darth Vader. Uh, I remember being in the store one time, and I saw that he had read he did like the audio version of the Bible, and I just thought that was fascinating because you know like in the Bible there's like the whole like chapters of like Luke and all that stuff, and I just couldn't get out of my mind that like Darth Vader, the voice of Darth Vader, is is reading the chapter of Luke in the Bible, and he probably at some point like he's got to. I don't think this is actually in the Bible, but if it was, it would be awesome if like Jesus was there talking to Luke and be like, Luke, I am your father. I don't know why I can't get that out of my mind, but that's exactly what goes through my mind when I see that James Earl Jones read the audio version of the Bible. Luke, I am your father. I can't do it very good, James and I can't do a Darth Vader impression, but I guess I guess that's only funny if you actually like know who Darth Vader is, which not everybody does because they're not big nerds like I am. Anywho, all right, I think this is probably good enough to move to the second stage. So the first stage is kind of just like throwing in a bunch of like blurred stuff to kind of figure out where everything is. I think this is pretty good. Blur that out. So now that everything's kind of blurred in and we know that there's a panda there, I can move to the next stage, which is like using liquid. Yeah, he had a great voice. It's such a distinctive voice, and he was awesome in everything he was. Like he didn't really have to act in order to be amazing in whatever he was. He just had that kind of presence that I remember he was in Coming to America, and he made a very convincing king in Coming to America, and all he was is just being himself. So anyway, this part I dip this brush inside of a little bit of water, run it across this charcoal stick, and then now I've got kind of this watercolor brush kind of thing where I can kind of blend things and bring it all together and do almost like a watercolor or ink effect. I think it looks more like ink just because it's black and white, but it's basically watercolor. And this kind of speeds things along. I think it takes the general form that I gave it and starts putting in, starts smoothing things out so that everything looks good together. It's really good for these like little black areas where we want them to be kind of like smooth. Yeah, Field of Dreams. Yeah, he was great in Field of Dreams. Obviously, I know him best as like Darth Vader, even though that's probably not his most memorable role. Like it is for us nerds, but it's probably not his best role as an actor. He's just he's just like right up there with like Morgan Freeman as these people who are just it doesn't matter what you put them in, they're just going to bring a level of class to it that is like just amazing, and that distinctive voice. So like Morgan Freeman's another one that can just basically narrate anything. Like he doesn't even have to show up. Like he could just lend his voice to something. Like he can sit in his own like if his house, like I'm sure he has a huge like mansion or whatever, but like if Morgan Freeman doesn't have like a recording studio in his own house, that's really all he needs. He doesn't even have to show up to like work uh, to just be amazing. What do you call a male panda? Amanda? What do you call it? That's great. Oh man, panda jokes. Those are probably a million of those. So, like for example, I want this ear up here to be like pretty dark, and I can sit there and draw all of it, but this is a lot faster. And basically, I'm just yeah, this is going to end up with like a little dent on it eventually. I've been doing this technique so much, but I love this technique. I really do. Like, those of you who tune into this channel often, which I hope you all do. Even those that are lurking, maybe you don't watch as often. Still, subscribe so that when I am live, you will know, and you will get like a notification when I have been live, so that you can watch it later and stuff. I'm still working on those watch hours, so like anything anybody can do to contribute. I have I haven't added it up, but I have been going back and watching my own things, just out of curiosity. Uh, Usually, whenever I do one of these live streams, I forget about it and just kind of put it away. It's not like I go back and review my stuff as much as I really should, considering I'm still learning how to draw. Um, I don't go back and kind of review my stuff to see like what I could have done differently. But I really should. I recommend that to anybody who is doing this as a method of like getting better at drawing, which is kind of what I'm actually trying to do. Um, so I don't do that, and I kind of like forgot how much video I actually have out there. Like I have, so I started this in January of last year, and I basically do at least two live streams a week, sometimes three. Um, a Panda. I like that. I like that, Larry. That's really good. What kind of what kind of cooking utensils does a panda use? A pan. Duh. That's good. That's good stuff. Anyway, so like I've got basically 2 years, almost 2 years of live streams going back forever. So like I will put those on as like a watch list and just kind of like there are watch like playlists on my YouTube channel if anybody wants to do this. But I put those on and I just kind of leave them running in the background and stuff. And it's really interesting to watch these things develop, and you can kind of see over time that I've gotten. I wouldn't say better at drawing these things, but you can definitely see that I've changed things up over time. There were there are some that are really bad, but also like I've swapped up the. It's not just like the quality of the drawing itself; it's the quality of the technique. I've swapped up the technique over time, which I think is kind of cool. Um, he's got like a he's like a thinking panda. He's thinking about stuff. Anyway, so if anybody wants to help with the watch hours, which is my goal, I'm working on getting more watch hours and stuff. Just whenever you're bored, just leave that playlist playing and just kind of like watch it and you know relive some moments. All the chats are still in there. Like you can go back and watch yourself. Like some of those comments you guys made, they're they're pretty they pretty good. I think they hold up well over time. But I don't know. You guys might want to go back and watch some of your own comments and stuff. I do think it's kind of funny how you guys have probably changed a little bit over time as well. You know, we all do. Jeremy is creating pandemonium tonight. There's like so many panda puns. Panda puns? I love it. All right, so let me kind of wisp in his other paw here. I do need to kind of get in the. I love this dry brush, by the way. I love the look of that as far as like these things go. It looks really good. I'm just kind of wisping in these things just so that they're there. Yeah, all right. So that's basically the size and scope of the panda. Now I need to get into my pencil here. I'll probably come back to that a little bit here later on, but for now I kind of want to. So when I'm drawing with the pencil, I don't always do this, but I like to do it. I like to dip my pencil in the water too. I know it sounds kind of weird, um, but and this may just be my imagination, but when I dip it in the water, I feel like it comes out smoother on the paper, almost like ink. And I started doing that. And again, this might be my imagination, but to me, it feels like I'm drawing with ink and not charcoal when I do this. So if there's anybody out there watching this to like develop a technique or something like that, give it a shot. and then try. I'm just in the habit of doing it, so I'm gonna keep doing it even if it doesn't change anything or actually like make a difference. Um, but if you are kind of curious if it does, give it a shot, see if it does make a difference. See if you enjoy doing it. If not, just ignore that step of it. But because you can kind of like put down some pressure and just kind of get these dark areas without it. But I like dipping it in the water just because it feels like I don't have to put down as much pressure to get these dark marks, and it kind of feels like ink. And I don't know why that matters to me, but it does. It's fun. So again, feel free to ignore it, but that's my technique. I like dipping my charcoal in water. And you can see the darkness here and the refining of the eye and stuff compared to this one. You know, this is the stage that kind of brings out some of the actual um, details in the face. This is what starts to bring it together. Um, Oh, Rad Art and Comics just asked, was that ink or watercolor? So that's actually charcoal. So I'm actually using charcoal with water to kind of mimic the effects of watercolor. But this is all charcoal. It's just using what it was is like I got bored of using charcoal in like traditional ways, and I'm like, how else can I use charcoal to kind of like create like a unique style and make things a little bit expressive. Um, and these are some of the ways that I've developed using charcoal. It's not like I invented these things. Other people do them as well. But I think they're kind of cool. I do recommend them just to try them out. But using wet charcoal, like watercolor, it creates these really cool effects. And I've got a number of these up on my channel. Feel free to go and check them out. But when this is all said and done, it does kind of look like an ink picture more than it does like charcoal because I put in like little splatter effects and things like that. That's all part of the process. Um, but it does kind of look like watercolor or ink. More, it looks more like ink just because it's like black and white. You know, like if I was using pastels or something, it might look like watercolor. But I think it's cool. You know, your name is Rad Art and Comics. I kind of got some of these ideas off of seeing a guy at a comic con who did ink drawings, and I was looking at them and I'm like, wow, that's really cool that he was able to do that. Like he drew these really cool Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in this style that was just like ink, and it looked really cool. And I'm like, wow, that's really neat. Um, I wonder if I can do that in charcoal. So like basically I started this with the idea of can I copy some of the effects of ink? It's not like I'm afraid of ink or anything like that. I'm just not used to it. So and I have a crap ton of charcoal everywhere. So it's like I don't have the supplies to do ink. Um, but also why, you know, like when I can get the same effects in charcoal. So anyway, that's kind of the backstory, the origin story of what got me doing this, but I think it's fun. What is a black and white, black and white, black and white? A panda rolling down a hill. That's funny. That's good. Good stuff. I feel like there's just a ton of panda jokes out there. But look at these eyes, guys. This is why I like drawing adorable creatures. Look at these. The eyes are just like I'm super cute. I know I'm on the endangered list. Save me, guys. You know, I make these jokes, but these guys really are on the endangered list. We should do whatever we can to fix that. I don't know how they became endangered. I'm gonna have to look that up. Like, I don't think people hunt these guys, do they? Like, what? Why would you hunt pandas? They're just adorable creatures. Reminds me of my dog, because my dog has the stuff. Coopart says, "Shout out, Jeremy, looking great." Yeah, what is Rome doing tonight? Rome's not in here. He's usually in here. That's odd. Maybe he had to work. Sometimes he's got work hours that prevents him from being able to stay for very long, so he might pop in later. I hope he's well. Like Rome, if you're watching this later and stuff, make sure you check in. We always get worried about the regulars when they don't show up. Everybody here isn't so like there. You are under no obligation to watch this show. Like I want to throw that out there because some people they do feel guilty when they don't show up. Like they'll send me like an email or something like, "I'm so sorry I didn't watch your show," and I'm like, "It's fine, you know." Like first off, these all of these things are recorded, so you can watch these things whenever you want. You don't have to watch them live. Um, I like it when you guys are in here live just because I like having somebody to talk to. But I, I can talk to myself just fine. I, if it came down to it, I could talk to myself. But if there's one person in here and stuff, I'm totally comfortable just talking to them. So do not feel like you're obligated to watch every show. Now it is nice. I do appreciate it that everybody does watch. But watch at your own pace. Like watch on the weekends if that's all you've got available, or watch in the evenings if you work days, or watching watch in the morning if like you work nights, whatever works for you guys. Like I do not want anybody to feel pressured into watching this. But yeah, I mean that happens a lot. Like people will leave comments like, "I'm so sorry I didn't get a chance to watch it." By the way, this is like kind of blending in some of these areas so that it doesn't look so sketched. I like to do this around the face because around the focal point, just because it makes it look more photo realistic. The further away I get from the focal point, the less I'm concerned about blending things out and getting everything looking super realistic. But anyway, Rome, whenever you show up, man. It's all good. I appreciate you guys. I really do. I appreciate each and every one of you guys who do take the time to show up because I know you have like a lot of things that you could be doing. Like I said, I mean, I was I was debating whether or not I even wanted to go live because I know some people do watch those debates. That's like a big thing here in the United States. So I didn't want to. I didn't want anybody to feel like they had to watch my show instead of the debates or anything. Um, so that's the kind of stuff I think about. Like I want to be conscious of like what matters to you guys. But ultimately, I was like, well, if nobody shows up, nobody shows up. That's fine. I'll still do this. I do these drawings mostly to practice anyway. So it's mostly for me. The talking is for you guys. Like I will draw these pictures regardless of whether I have a YouTube audience or not. Because my goal is to get better at drawing. Hanging out with you guys is just the bonus, like that's the awesomeness on top of it. Panda looks amazing, Jeremy. I have to cut loose early tonight. That's fine, Larry. I appreciate you hanging out, man. That's exactly what I was talking about. Like, if anybody feels the need to go, in fact, the debates, if you are into that, they are starting here in the next 10 minutes. Sorry, 6 minutes or so. So if anybody feels the need to dip out and go watch that, that's fine. I will hang out with my panda, and I will talk to my panda. And all of this is being recorded, so you can feel free to watch it tomorrow and see how it turned out. Pop in. But yeah, like if any of you guys get the chance to go and watch, I don't know why my mind switched to it, but well, maybe this panda kind of looks like him, but Beetlejuice. If you really if you're looking for a good entertaining time, go watch Beetlejuice. It was very good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, there are some problems with it, like the pacing and stuff. I feel like they kind of threw in a bunch of stuff that didn't need to be. Like I'm not gonna throw out any spoilers or anything, but um, yeah, have a good one, Larry. I appreciate it. Um, like I'm not gonna like tell you the plot or anything like that, but I do think it was good. It's been what 35 years since the original. I think the original came out in 1989. So it's been a minute, and it's kind of curious. I was kind of curious when they first announced that they were doing it, like what they were going to use as like you know plot devices to kind of like bring everybody up to date on like what everybody's up to now and things like that because it has been a minute. But I think they did a good job on that. It's believable that, like when you look at where everybody is and what they're doing and stuff, it's like a believable story. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. Again, I don't want you guys to go and see it and say, man, this sucked. Um, and like Jeremy didn't mention the problems and stuff. Like, yeah, I'm intentionally ignoring the problems. It has problems, but I think it's such a good movie that it's worth ignoring the problems and just going there and having a good time. Because I do that sometimes. Like I there are some movies that I could critique and complain about and stuff, like Marvel movies, for example. I love Marvel movies. They can do no wrong in my eyes. Like but the movies, the Marvels or the Eternals, things like that, those movies that have actual problems and stuff. So like the criticisms they get, they're 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 fair criticisms. Now, that said, I still enjoy them. I have a good time whenever I go and watch those movies. I have a good time whenever I watch a Star Wars show, even though, you know, many of those actually suck nowadays. Um, some of them are really good. Andor was really good, but like for example, The Acolyte. The criticism that The Acolyte has gotten, I mean, it's justified. I mean, I can't say that it's not. That said, I still enjoyed The Acolyte. It wasn't that bad. The only Marvel project that I really didn't care for was She-Hulk. She-Hulk was terrible. I don't even know, like I don't even know what they were trying to do with She-Hulk. It was just bad. And you know, the normal criticisms that these things get and stuff like that, I don't even know if that's where I'm at on these things. I just didn't like She-Hulk because there was no story there. There was no real story. And I kind of feel like the same way with the Acolyte. Like the Acolyte was good enough. It had like lightsaber fights and stuff, but that's all I care about. Um, but also the story had problems. So if you're looking for a recommendation on Star Wars shows, go watch Andor. Andor has a really good story. I enjoyed that a lot. And you can skip the Acolyte. Like there's no real reason to watch that. Although there is a Yoda cameo, which is kind of cool. I don't feel like I don't feel like that's a spoiler. That's pretty much out there already. So this bit here, this is kind of like negative space. So like I want to demonstrate that the white furry hair kind of comes up here. So kind of define where the panda bear is in the space. So I have to add like a little bit of like blur up there just to let you guys know where the hair ends. Hey, Rum Dog's here! Yay! Oh, and Lorraine's in here. Awesome. Now we got a party. I'm not saying that like Larry left, so now we can have a party. I'm not saying that at all. Um, or if I did say that, it would be a great joke. But no. Um, appreciate you showing up there, Rome Dog. Appreciate you showing up there, Lorraine. Hopefully you guys are having a great evening. We're just drawing a panda bear. Hopefully it looks like a panda bear by now, because otherwise, let's see. We're an hour into it. If it didn't look like a panda bear by now, I'm in trouble. But I think it looks like a panda bear. Again, first time drawing a panda bear. I think it's turning out pretty well. So, let's see, I've talked about these things before, but the important thing at this stage is kind of like building in that three dimensions to it. So, like, some things still kind of look a little bit flat, which is fine at this stage. But at this stage, you kind of want to start pushing some things into the back. So, like, you want to push like this chin into the back, and then that brings this paw forward. This is how like I call it rendering. You can call it developing, whatever you want to call it, but this is like the rendering stage of many of these features. Get the whole mouth settled in, that kind of thing. start showing some of that adorableness off. So he does kind of have like a little bit of a lip. Let's see if I can get lift up some of this right there. I'm kind of give him a little bit of a milk mustache, which is basically like the highlight of his little thing. You know, I should draw a polar bear next, or at some point. I think he's looking cute. All right. So I'm liking this. I'm gonna leave it alone for a minute. I kind of wanted to get in, and I don't know how far I'm gonna go with this, but I kind of wanted to get some bamboo stalks in. So I don't know. I'm just gonna draw some lines here. I may switch styles. I haven't put a lot of thought into how I'm going to do these, but just kind of get some bamboo stalks, and then we can kind of go from there. I may end up using multiple techniques for this. And I may not put like a lot of detail into these. They're not the focal point. I just kind of want to get them in there. So get these stems in there. And then I think I'm just gonna kind of like blur in these leaves. And then maybe define them a little bit more. If yeah, polar bear on black paper would look really nice. Polar Blair. That would be the name of it. I'll draw like a female one and call it Polar Blair. So whenever I'm in doubt of how to approach something, I do it really lightly first because then I'm like, well, okay, I can kind of pivot it and make it look a little bit different if I need to. And I think this is going to work out. So, again, I don't have to be super detailed on these leaves because they're not the focal point. I just kind of want them in there to kind of place the panda bear in like an environment and also give the panda bear something to do, which is, in this case, the panda bear is holding some bamboo sticks. As you can see, I'm not going back to the well on the charcoal because I want this to kind of be really light. So I'm just using the residual charcoal that is already on the thing. Oh, there's a lot. Blend that one in. Doesn't take much to kind of put in the impression of leaves. Kind of maybe flesh out these sticks a little bit more. Just kind of like, you know, abstractly putting in some leaves. That might be a bit much. Yeah, that'll work. Just laying low to see if you miss me. We always miss you, man. We miss everybody who doesn't show up. That's a great way to look at it, MJ. Love panda bears because they don't want to eat you. That's a great reason to love panda bears. All right, so I'm going to go back into my watercolor here a little bit. Basically, it's not watercolor, it's just using water with charcoal. And I'm going to use that to kind of fill in some of these, this area in the fur now that I know where my sticks are going to be. So, like I could draw this, I could smudge this in. There's a bunch of different ways that I can add charcoal, like in big blotches like this. But this works really, really well to kind of like fill in some of these areas in a nice stylistic way really quickly. So that's what I like about this technique. Again, I've been using it increasingly lately, just because I love it. It's been surprisingly versatile. Like I've done a bunch of different pictures, um, using this technique, from dogs to cats to, I haven't done a person yet. No, I did do a person. I did an old man this way. I haven't done like, I don't know, like your traditional portrait and stuff. I just like drawing old people, old men. They have like a lot of features in their face and stuff, especially like old men with hats, pipes and such. Basically Gandalf. I like drawing Gandalf. But yeah, so this technique really works well for that. But I think it's just really versatile. It's you get like a lot of different types of pictures out of it. Not really different types of pictures, but different subjects. Different subjects are rendered well through this. All right. I'm not worried about this. Permits. Okay. So I'm going to leave that to the side. Go in here. Let me try using a little bit darker charcoal. Sketch some of this stuff in quickly. I just really want to get like some dark areas in here. Not a lot. And I do kind of want to blend this in so that it's not so drawn looking. And through here, same deal. And kind of bring this down here. So I just really wanted to get some dark areas in here really quickly. So now I can kind of go back to the old brush and kind of like blend that in so that it looks more like the rest of the picture. Because like this looks really rough, right? And it looks drawn. I don't want that. I want to smooth this out so that it looks painted almost. All right, and then this paw here needs to be really dark as well. Like I want people to know that this is a paw. Yeah, panda bears don't eat people. I have never heard of them harming people. If they ever did harm somebody, it's probably from like sitting on them because they're so fat. Like big chunky panda bears. I think that's the only harm to humans. They're I think they're strictly vegetarian. Like there's some animals that maybe like koala bears, I think, are strictly vegetarian as well. I don't even know if koala bears are actual bears. Like, do they qualify? Do they qualify as actual bears? That is not funny. I don't know. That was a bad attempt at humor. I should be ashamed of myself. Oh, Jeremy, why do you go on YouTube and make an ass of yourself? Wonder what panda tastes like. Wonder what you're gonna go hunting pandas? They taste terrible, man. They probably taste like bamboo. You don't want to eat pandas. It's so, yeah, you don't want to eat anything adorable. What comic made that joke? Somebody, I forget what famous stand-up comic made this joke, but it's true. It's like the more adorable a creature is, the less humans want to eat them. So like, I don't know, like dogs and cats and stuff. We don't want to eat dogs and cats because they're adorable. Cows, well, cows are adorable too, but eh, we don't want to eat no panda bear. I don't want to eat a panda bear. Probably, it probably tastes like eucalyptus, or sorry, bamboo. Like koala bears would taste like eucalyptus. I don't know what eucalyptus tastes like. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think I don't think people eat panda bears. They're endangered anyway. You wouldn't want to eat them. I was kind of phoning it in the last two chats. Amazon delivery. That's a cool job. Like doing Amazon delivery. I always thought that that would be a fun way to get out there into the world. Like you probably think like, oh, this sucks because it's your job, but I kind of look at it as like that sounds like a lot of fun. Like you go out and see different people, and I guess you don't really interact with people that much. You're just doing like delivery, but these these are like little bamboo shoots and stuff. These are a little bit challenging, but I will figure it out. I think at some point I might come back over some of this charcoal with a gel pen and kind of get those looking a little bit better. So at this point I'm using my pencil as an actual pencil and getting in some fur lines. Then using my finger to kind of like blur out the edges of it just so that I can get kind of that edge in there. And let me see what I can do about getting some more. Yeah. So just like whiskers on a cat, I can use this gel pen to kind of go over the charcoal. Now, again, this is cheating. This is not charcoal. You can use like white pastel if you really want to be more like charcoal, but also I don't care. I mentioned this before. I try to avoid mixed media just because I kind of want to like use charcoal to the best of the ability of charcoal. And there's a couple of different ways you can do this without doing what I'm doing here. You can you can use an eraser. You can lift this stuff up. It's going to be a little bit challenging, but you can do that. You can get like a really fine point eraser and kind of like get these like little details in there. Um, but also you can use a gel pen, and I feel like it's cheating, but also I don't care because this is not going in like a museum or any kind of like art show or anything like that. So I don't mind. But just to let you know, if you do care about that kind of stuff, you don't want to mix charcoal with um, other mediums like ink and so on. But what's cool about it, and this is kind of what I want to highlight, is that you can, that's what's really cool. Like if you were doing that like a cat picture or something like that, and you need to go over your dark charcoal with like to get whiskers in there, you could do that with this. That's what I like about it. So I don't mind showing it off because like I think it is kind of like cool that you can do that. So, but take it with the caveat that you're then technically doing mixed media, which you may or may not care about. I don't care in this case. Sometimes I might care. Like if I'm really trying to like explore the medium to the best of its ability, like I'm really trying to explore charcoal, then I would probably avoid doing that. But that's not what I'm doing here. Or if I was planning on like selling this picture and I wanted it to be correctly advertised as charcoal and not have to say mixed media, then I might care. But that is none of the case. That's kind of funny. I don't want to hurt a panda, but if one dies, maybe just like one panda slider. So you're saying that if like you're driving down the road and you just happen to see a panda that's been hit by a bus or something, you might pick it up. Okay. Hey, to each their own, I'm not going to judge you. Lorraine says, I will pass on the slider. I think I agree with that, but I am not going to judge Rome on his panda burger or whatever. What was that creature on Kung Fu Panda that was like the mentor? He kind of looked like a little panda, maybe? I don't know. I might be misremembering that. So this is the so one of the sorry, so to go back to that gel pen thing real quick, I'll show you why that is helpful. So I've got this like little blurred out area here. There's nothing going on. There's not like a lot for your eyes to grab a hold of. But if I come in and I grab my gel pen, or you could use like a white pastel or something of that nature, or even erase some of this stuff. If you come back in and you add some white over it, it suddenly takes on like a three-dimensionality to it. So now you have this layer that is over that dark area. This gel pen's seen better days. So now you have some detail that is over that dark area that kind of like makes it more visually interesting and adds some depth to it. Not a lot of that here, but and then like if you had if you did have a white pastel, which I actually have over here, so I'll show that technique as well. You can draw directly over your charcoal as well. So like you don't have to use the gel pen. This is probably more technically correct because like you can actually get white charcoal. It's basically pastel. It's not technically white charcoal. Like technically, charcoal doesn't come in white. It doesn't exist. So it's basically going to be pastel or chalk or something like that. But anyway, you can do that as well. So like I can have like a little branch coming off here. In fact, I kind of like this better than the gel pen. I feel less guilty about it, and also it looks cooler, and it's easier to do. There you go. All right, so 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Choose your poison. All right, gonna get this ear developed a little bit. How are we doing on time? We're doing okay on time. I think this panda is looking cute. Um, Unintentionally, but I like it. It actually looks it looks like an Asian drawing. So I know that the subject matter, the panda is like Asian, but the style of this actually looks Asian as well. So like if you go back and you look at Japanese illustrations, things like that, I feel like this is pretty close in that kind of style and look. And it's probably mostly because it looks like I used ink. I wish I knew Japanese like lettering and stuff. That would look cool on here, but I don't. My brother can actually speak Japanese pretty well, but I cannot. I do watch some. I do watch some like anime things like that, but if it's in a foreign language, it's lost on me. I have no idea. I can barely like go to a Japanese restaurant and order meals. It's, I'm just not very cultured. Oh, and yeah, and pandas are from China anyway, so like I'm dumb. I'm an idiot. Rome Dog says, I see a lot of places there's always dogs, so that's cool. I'm F draw. I don't know what that means. Gonna start drawing. Cool. I think the San Diego Zoo just got 2 pandas. Nice. Yeah, I was thinking. So I was noting it earlier in the show that I don't think I've ever seen a panda in person, and I was wondering. I thought maybe they had them at the zoo. So the zoo I usually go to is like the Cincinnati Zoo. I haven't been to the Louisville Zoo yet. I'm going to have to look into it, but I assume they had a panda, but now that I think about it, because they're so like endangered and rare, it's possible that they don't. And if they do, maybe I should go and see that just because of that reason. But they look adorable. I would love to see one in person. I would love to see it doing goofy little panda things. You can probably live stream that somewhere. But they're to me, like I know they're smart, and I know they have like a lot going for them in terms of like using tools and stuff like that. But you have the all the videos I've ever seen them in, they're like trying to harm themselves. So like there are some animals, horses are like these. There are some animals that like you wonder how they survive because it always seems like they're trying to harm themselves. And that's definitely the case for horses. Horses are always trying to get themselves stuck in something or like a stuck in a fence or something of that nature. I feel like pandas are always the same way. Like they're always like rolling down hills and bending over and I don't know. They just seem like they're always trying to harm themselves. Maybe that's not the case. I don't know. Yes, they are usually taking them back, so they so nice they sent them. Jeremy, your panda is so gorgeous. Enjoyed your show. Thank you, MJ. I appreciate that. I am probably going to wrap this up soon. I know it's like a short on the shorter side, but I think I'm pretty close to getting this done. Um, there are a few more things that I wanted to add to it, so I'm going to do that really quick. But I'm gonna kind of rush through it. I really like this panda. I like how it looks, so I don't feel like it's phoned in just because it's a shorter stream. There's a mosquito flying around here. I'm frustrated. All right, blend that out. All right, so again, the technique is you kind of like lay everything out with like soft kind of strokes, and then you kind of define it a little bit more with your paintbrush, kind of treating it like watercolor in there so that you kind of see where the panda is. And then you come in and like add a layer of detail. You get your facial features in there, and then the one that I do just because I like the style of it. Have a good one, MJ. Appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping in. Don't worry, we're almost done here. I'm gonna wrap this up soon. Um, so the last step that I enjoy, and this is purely cosmetic, purely style, is I like to add these like little splotches. I've talked about why I do this, mostly because I just like the aesthetic of this so much that it looks like ink. That I feel like this right here kind of like and reinforces that. So I put in these like little splotches just to make it look more like ink. Um, Plus it kind of looks cool. It looks like my coffee paintings that I do. But in this case, you know, you have this like panda. He's like in the thicket of bamboo. He's kind of like looking out and stuff. So it's appropriate to have these kind of like little marks. So the way I do that is I just get this wet, just like if I was going to paint with it, and then just kind of like, well, you can kind of see with my finger here. I'm just kind of flicking it. Rome says, yeah, bamboo kind of brought it together. I don't know. I feel like my bamboo is a little weak, but I appreciate that. Thank you, man. I feel like I can maybe add some touches to this to make it look a little bit. Every time somebody mentions something, I kind of like look at that bit and I'm like, how can I? Yeah, I think the bamboo it looks better is like painted. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. Sorry, went off on a tangent there. Anyway, let me finish putting these splotches in and we'll call this done. The problem is I end up with like I have black marks all over the walls here. I have a computer screen in front of me, and that is like covered with these like little black marks. But you know, that's the way art works. So I'm going to kind of like focus more over here as far as these things go, just to get these in there. Right. I think that's pretty good. Let's see. There were some. See if I can kind of mop up some of these. I think that was a bit much there. And then this one doesn't need to be up there. Just kind of like using a paper towel to kind of mop up some of the errant ones that kind of got away from me. There you go. All right, so I think we're about done here. like I could spend all evening like further refining this, but I kind of like the style of it being loose and not too defined. Like you can see that he's got a little paw kind of coming up here, and then another paw kind of coming around with the holding the bamboo and stuff. So there's like there's enough detail there, and I feel like it kind of sells the story enough. So anyway, I think it's a kind of a cute little panda. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. So anyway, like I was saying, to I forget who was asking, that one guy who was in here, or one girl, whoever it was. I like expressing, like these drawings with charcoal, but I like kind of pushing the boundary of like traditional charcoal. So like I could draw this in charcoal, no problem. But I like the fact that we're kind of painting with charcoal as well, and we're using a couple of different techniques to do that. Starting with the blending stump that kind of lets us know where everything is, to doing things a little bit more developed with the paintbrush and the pencil. And I kind of like that three punch combination. Again, I tried a couple of different pictures. They all kind of come out looking pretty similar, which is the goal, to develop an art style. So anyway, hopefully you guys agree that it's a cool technique. I'll probably do some more pictures in it in the future, but I haven't done a panda yet, so this was fun for me. I love pandas; they're adorable. Anyway, I think that's about it for tonight. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I know that again, you guys have like a lot of options on what you guys can be doing with your time, so I appreciate you guys spending your time with me. It's always my pleasure because you guys are the ones that are awesome, and you guys make this worth doing. So anyway, sorry, I get kind of carried away with some of the remaining details. But anyway, I could be tinkering with this all night, so I'm just gonna call. I'm gonna call this done. Rondon says looks delicious. Look, these guys are on the endangered species list. You don't want to be eating pandas. I don't care if you find one as roadkill or not. Just leave it be. Do not kill pandas for food. They probably taste terrible. Look at this guy. He looks adorable. You don't want to kill him. Anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Hopefully, you guys had a good time. Let's see. I will be back on Thursday this week to draw another thing. I don't know what all I'm going to do. Ben, Ashley, if you're watching this, I'm still working on your picture. It's developing pretty nicely. You know, like I'll get it done eventually. I promise. But anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Hopefully, you guys had a good one. I will see you guys on Thursday. See you guys later. Bye. Have a good one.